Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we are making the salted caramel Mexican coffee buns. A sweet buns which is basically made with coffee toppings and butter filling. It's actually originated in Malaysia and quite popular around Asia. Papparoti and Rotiboy are the most famous brand for these delicious coffee-coated buns, while in Singapore was popular with roti mum. They even customize the buns with other flavors combination such as chocolate, cheese, kaya, and peanut. In this recipe, I'm gonna show you how to use Tangzhong method in bread making, one of the most reliable method to produce soft and fluffy breads. This method contributes to the ultra-airy, pillowy texture of this bread. Instead of butter, I will use my homemade salted caramel sauce for the bread filling, which is so tasty. It's melty and slightly savory against the sweet cookie crust and buns. The combination of the soft bread with the sweet, salty, velvety, smooth caramel sauce is completely divine. And before we get started, make sure you tap that subscribe button and turn on those notifications as well. And without further ado, let's get started. Coffee buns is a good choice to start baking business ideas in my opinion, cause the ingredients quite cheap and it's easy to produce. This bread also quite addicting for some people. Well, if you can to sell this. As for the packaging wise, popular brands usually pack these breads in paper bag with their printed logo. And as home bakers, we don't need to produce such a mess packaging for starter, which can cost a lot of money. Yet we can simply use ready-made paper bag like this. The one I bought in Daiso is really cute. Or even make DIY packaging with your own design. Like what I did here, I create a simple design with my logo. Then I just print the design onto an A4 paper, cut them off, and stick it to the plain paper bag. Isn't it beautiful? So, have fun with your own creations. Packaging is done. Now we can focus on our bread. We need to prepare the fillings and toppings in advance before start on the bread making. So for the caramel filling, in a medium heavy pan, heat the granulated sugar over medium heat. You can see the sugar will begin to form clumps. Don't worry, keep stirring, it eventually melt back down. Once all of the sugar melted, stir the pan occasionally. Continue cooking until the sugar has reached a deep amber color. It should look almost reddish brown colored and have a slight toasted aroma. Please be careful. This is the point where caramel can go from perfect to burn in a matter of seconds, so keep a close eye. As soon as the caramel reaches its sweet spot, turn off the heat, then add the butter all at once. Watch out, it will bubble up when the butter is added. Stir until the butter is completely melted. Remove pan from the heat and slowly pour the cream into the caramel. Again, be careful, since the heavy cream is colder than the hot caramel, the mixture will once again bubble up furiously. Whisk until all the cream has been incorporated and smooth. And for the saltiness, you can add regular salt, or I just use my favorite Himalayan salt here. Set the sauce aside to cool down a bit for about 10 to 15 minutes. Pour into your favorite glass jar, let it cool completely, close the lid, and then store in the fridge to harden it. I suggest to prepare the caramel sauce one day at once, so it will be easier when filling the bread. While our creamy caramel sauce is chilling, let's continue on our magical coffee topping. So in a small cup, dissolve the instant coffee with a small amount of hot water. I am using regular Nescafe instant coffee here. You can use any brand you like. And yes, you can substitute it with espresso powder if you don't have instant coffee on hand. But I really don't recommend it, cause it will make your bun taste a lot less flavorful. Then in a medium bowl, beat the butter and sugar together until fluffy and pale in color. Gradually add in the eggs, mix well, add in the coffee mixture, and the last ingredients, fold in the flour and mix until it's smooth and well combined. Then transfer the mixture into a piping bag and chill in the fridge to firm up a bit. Alright, filling and toppings are done. Now let's continue on our bread dough. Tangzhong Starter or Koruk Starter is basically a liquid, milk or water and flour that is being cooked into a paste and then incorporated into the dough. So for the Tangzhong Starter, in a medium pan, mix the 10 grams of bread flour and 60 grams of water. Stir until well combined and no lumps remain. Cook over medium-low heat. Keep stirring until the mixture turns into a sticky paste like this. Be careful not to burn the paste. Take it off from the heat. Cover the mixture with plastic wrap, pressing the wrap onto the surface of the mixture to prevent the skin form on the surface, and let it cool completely. Then in a large bowl, place the bread flour, cake flour, milk powder, sugar, and yeast. Mix well. Add in the eggs, water, Tangzhong Starter, and salt. Mix for a minute until a sticky dough forms. Add the softened butter and fold into the dough with your hands until well combined. Feel free to use electric mixer. Don't be panicked if you have sticky dough at first. It will be very greasy in the beginning. That's normal. It's not necessary to add additional flour and then end up with a tough bread. Just transfer the dough onto a work surface. Continue kneading for about 10 to 15 minutes. As you knead the dough, you will find that it will be less and less greasy or sticky. Knead until the dough becomes smooth and elastic, and you can check to see if your dough is well formed by doing the window pan test by stretching it out into a thin membrane without breaking it. Hello! Can you see my finger? That's the indication that the gluten is well formed. It's perfect. Round and place the dough into a clean grease ball. Cover the dough with a plastic wrap and let the dough rise until it almost doubles in size. This dough rise up really nice after 1 hour in a cool warm place. I like to place them in my preheated 60 degrees Celsius oven that has been turned off, especially in cold rainy days, to speed up the proofing process. It's time for the best part, so let's prep these babies up for baking. Punch down your rice and dough. Divide the dough into 5 equal pieces for about 55 grams each. Roll each dough into round. Pull around the edges, tuck underside into itself. Hold and roll the dough with our hands in C-shape. Give a little pressure on it, smoothing top and sides at the same time as turning. And let it rest for about 10 to 15 minutes so the gluten can relax a bit. After being rested, flatten each ball into a dish. Place about a half tablespoon caramel filling in the center and then close it by pulling the seam of the dough over and around it. Then hold and roll the dough with our hands in C-shape into a ball and place it on a baking sheet lined with parchment paper. Spare at least 3 inches space around each bunch, as they will expand during final proof and while baking. Once you have finished filling all the dough, cover the shape buns with plastic wrap or kitchen towel and let them rest for another 30 to 40 minutes until almost double in size. In the meantime, you can take out your coffee toppings from the fridge so it's not too hard while piping, and then preheat the oven to 180 degrees Celsius. Once the buns has risen, pipe the coffee toppings in a tight circular patterns, starting from the top of the buns down to about the middle part of the sides of your coffee buns. You don't want to pipe down all the way because that will be way too much topping. Cause once you put this into the oven, they will melt downwards and form a coffee shell over the buns. If you pipe until the bottom, the topping will be just used down all over the place. It's good to go. Bake the buns for about 12 to 15 minutes. Here's how they will look as they start cocooning the coffee buns as they bake. This reminds me a little bit of cookie topping from Shoe Out Crackling. The smell of them while baking was simply divine. It was impossible to escape the smell of this. And here you go. Look how amazing these buns are. The caramel inside is melty. It's leak out as they bake. The gooey crusty texture on the bottom of the buns, intensely flavorful and so aromatic. This coffee buns is based on freshly baked, while still warm. The aroma of these Mexican coffee buns is really tantalizing and make you just want to eat it piping hot. Just one whiff of this is enough to make my mouth watery. This bread has a perfectly moist, creamy interior with a crisp outer crust. They are so difficult to resist. I don't think making these buns are difficult, although they do require some time and a number of steps. It's not too oily and it doesn't flatten at all. Crispy on the outside, soft bread in the inside, with an additional salted caramel in the center of the soft buns. Oh, I love caramel so much. It's really addictive and they really gone too fast. And they go perfectly well with coffee. Hot coffee preferably. Alright guys, I hope you will enjoy the recipe of this memorable taste of the caramel coffee coated buns. Don't forget to follow me on social media at bembumkitchen for more recipes updates. Thank you so much for watching. Please stay healthy and safe, and let's spread the love for coffee buns. Take care guys.
Sao